I did not expect him to have these connections. Looks in the window and goes, "Hey, y'all looking for a red girl?" Then I realized she didn't have any teeth. I'm starting to panic a little bit. Just for context, I look very different than I do today. I don't look like the security guard. I look like this. I look like Peter Parker, a scrawny Peter Parker. That's not my present day look. I had an employee that worked with me, let's call him Steven. One day we both got off work. We were kind of like, hey, let's go to happy hour. So go to happy hour. So I'm like, yo man, I'm kind of trying to see what the nightlife is, trying to do something. I didn't know his backstory. Here's the thing. If you're gonna hang out with a coworker after work, find out their backstory, because the next thing we did was get in his car and go to Southeast DC. First, we went to go visit his weed connect, who lived in the brownest place I've ever seen. Carpet, the dude, the house, everything had a film on it. There was resin in even the wallpaper, everything was a shade of brown. That's all I remember. At one point, I don't remember exactly when I said this, but I said I was looking for, kind of a little adventure, right? I was looking to have a story to tell. And this was the red flag guy. I should have probably just gone F home. He said, "Oh, I got an adventure for you." So we go to Southeast, and next thing I know, we pull up to what I can only describe as a pile of rubble that had a door laid across it. The door looked like a fence door. It didn't even look like it belonged to a house. What does he think's happening? Like, why would you get out of the car here? It's rubble. Not only does he get out of the car, he walks up to the door, and I'm like, he better not knock on that door. He knocked on the door, and then I thought, there's no good that can come of this. That's not even a full-size door. Like, best case scenario, gnomes live there, and I don't trust gnomes because I've never seen a female one, and I don't think I don't know how they multiply. I imagine it's like that, they touch you when you become one, like the Night King on Game of Thrones. Charlotte's, I don't want that life. I'm starting to panic a little bit. So he gets back in the car. I'm like, okay, oh, good. It's not any of that. I don't know what that was about. We drive a little bit further. We pull up to a stop sign. This dude rolls by on a bike, looks in the window and goes, "Hey, y'all looking for a red girl?" I didn't know what he meant. At this point, I'm a little bit drunk. So in my head, I'm thinking, does he mean a Native American? Because I think they killed them all. I don't know what he's talking about. But Steven knows, because he's like, yeah. We follow this dude on this bike to what I can only describe as a haunted house. There was no door, and it had them vines growing up it that looked like wet hair, and that's the sign of a horror movie. But women's wet hair in a drain or growing up something, like that is as quintessential haunted house nonsense. And then we go into a room that was lit by oil lamps. So now we're having a seance, and he goes into what I think was the kitchen, but I can't be sure. I wasn't looking behind that curtain. They go back there to do something. The dude who was the purveyor of said red girl is like, "Hey, you cool?" And I was like, "Yeah." And he was asking, "Really?" "No, because I'm about to sell these drugs." I didn't know that until a customer walks in and sits next to me. She was a crackhead. She was wearing a tracksuit. For me, it's kind of a trigger because growing up in PG County, there were a lot of women in tracksuits who would kind of look at me and go, I don't know what that means, but that just is a thing that I had to deal with. But then I realized she didn't have any teeth. Now, I have a woman in a tracksuit with no teeth sitting next to me. They're like, "Hey, are you cool?" And now there's a pipe. And then she was smoking crack. Then there was just crack being smoked, and it was here, and I was here, and we're in this now. And I'm like, this is an experience. I feel like Mike Wallace in Beirut. Am I doing an interview with a crackhead? And then I did. I interviewed the crackhead, and I found out that her name was Janice, and that this is how she just chose to unwind. She was a responsible crackhead. She didn't sell her teeth, she just lost them. I don't really remember how I got home that night. I know that I didn't sleep much. It was one of those days you wake up and you're not sure how many hours off of your lifespan you lost, but you know you lost some. I did not expect him to have these connections. Steven was the most straight-laced looking white dude I'd ever met in my whole life. Bro had a whole Ray Charles musician prodigy story arc where he has this elite trumpet player and did all this stuff, but then he got involved with some bands and had a habit and had to go to rehab. All of this I find out a few months later. I had stopped hanging out with coworkers after that day. like acting. You got to learn, even if you think that they just a surface player, like they are in your life as an extra. But no, then if they had you hanging out with them means they have a speaking role, and then it spirals.